This is the SSS Plus free-to-play teams for the second rotation. Each 12 Trials boss has 2 to 3 rotations, and the rotations each last 2 weeks long. Last time we had 2 fire heroes, and this time the requirement is 4 Covenant heroes, which just means fire, ice, and earth heroes, no moonlight heroes. So we can't use Suthin anymore, instead we'll be using Lilka. Lilka has 2 debuffs on her S3, which combined with the 2 debuffs on Sigret's S2 makes up for 4, all 100%, so we'll be guaranteed to clear as long as their turn order lines up. There's a couple of other things, like Lilka can push Sigret, and you can manipulate their turns a little bit, which helps. We have no AoEs here really, it's just Tamarinne S1, but the damage doesn't matter because as long as we clear all 3 break phases, we're guaranteed to get at least 4.5 million. And we'll also mention that the team I used last time that had Baal in place of Lilka still works. If you did it with that team last time, just copy your stats and do it again, it still works because there was no Moonlight hero in that team. So you can just run that again. I'll probably put that at the end of after this Lilka run too, just so you don't have to swap videos to see it if you haven't seen it yet. But let's look at everyone's stats here first. So here is Brieg. He's just on a bunch of HP gear, as tanky as I can while still having a bit of speed, because we do need some speed on him to get enough hits in before the break phase starts, with Steadfast Gatekeeper as his artifact. And then there is Tamarinne, who is on her normal gear from Path of Air, though I stole her accessories for Brieg, so she's using some substitutes with Magaraha's Tome as her artifact. If you find yourself needing more sustain, you can give her Rod of Amaryllis or Unfading Memories or something. There's also Lilka, you kind of want her to be decently fast with a ton of HP. This is just because she has 3-star stats. Our Tamarinne's not healing too much, so sustaining up's going to be the hard part. That's also why I gave her Proof of Valor, to try and mitigate some of the damage that she takes. Oh, of course, you're going to want to enhance her S3 to get the 100% proc chances. And then there is Sigret, who I did remember to Mola her S2 this time. That she actually has a 100% chance to land her debuffs. And for her gear, this is just her, this is just the usual destruction set, but I gave her an HP neck. Doesn't really matter too much because we're not aiming for damage, so I opted to bulk her up a bit, so that she wouldn't die as easily. That is it for the stats for this team, and now we can take a look at our run. Similar to last time, the main issue with this team is just going to be surviving. But so long as we can survive all 3 phases, we're guaranteed an SSS+. Also, again, with my speeds, I have to spam Brieg S1 just to get the hits in. One difference with last time is because we have 2 debuffs on Lilka S3 and 2 debuffs on Sigret S2, it's a bit easier to tune 2 units instead of tuning 3 to all go in the pre-break phase. We also have no AoEs except for Tama, which is pretty bad for our... Yeah, she cuts, just making sure. It's pretty bad for our damage, but again, it doesn't really matter. As long as we enter all 3 break phases, we'll have enough for SSS+. So here we have to check, is Sigret going to take her turn before Yukine? Probably not, so we'll just press S1. This ends up working out, because now we can press Tamarinne S3. That's our first 2 debuffs. And here's 3 and 4. We can use our first AoE. Get Brieg's turn. Lilka, for S2, you can also use this. to push Sigret up if you ever need to, or just to skip a turn. And one thing is, honestly, I'm going to use S1 here, but because all we really care about is surviving and our damage is pretty low in the first place, you should generally be prioritizing just healing over min-maxing for damage. So even though I could AoE here, it's going to be more important for me to press S2 just for the healing on Brieg, just so that he doesn't die, hopefully. Might as well accept the free damage when it is available, though. And then you can pop Idol again, just for more sustain. And we can afford the S2 here. Since we have all of the CR push from Tamarinne's idle form, we're definitely going to be able to get enough hits in. You can see our damage is a bit lower than last time, it's just because we need to actually heal with Tama at some point. And the lack of AoEs from our debuffer makes it so we have less opportunities to actually stack up. And also, last time I didn't use S3, but there's really no reason to not use S3. It doesn't matter because it's just one debuff, and Lilka and Sigret both do too. But you might as well. Cleanse off the burns real quick. And I'm just gonna use this for healing. We want to make sure we're able to survive phase 3. Without any AoEs, there's no chance that we're able to clear this phase properly anyways. So I'm pretty much gonna sacrifice all my damage in this phase just to try and clear phase 3. We do have a lot of debuffs. Even with the full death pen, it doesn't really do that much. Lilka going before Yufine is very good there. I think she would have died otherwise. The hardest part is definitely Lilka trying to survive, I think. Her bulk is just so low being a non-specialty change 3-star. Again, because we don't care about damage, I'm just going to pop Idol early here. Just for the cleanse. And I'm going to push up Sigret here, just so that she'll go right as the debuff phase starts. And we are into the break phase. Skip a turn. And I actually can't afford to use the S1 here. It's the final break phase. We're under no threat of dying at this point. Use S2. Might as well S3. And might as well AoE. We can see how much damage the Sigret S3 is going to do. It's probably not that much because it's only 2 stacks, but we already hit SSS plus, and hopefully this ends in the top 10%. Not sure how low the cutoff is on that. As usual, just clearing the 3 break phases gets you a free SSS plus. It's still pretty early on in the week. This is definitely not within the top 5%, but hopefully by the end of the week this will be within the top 10% at least. And if you want to do more runs with this team, you definitely can. Like, these missions are all done now. Only my free 5-star ticket. Fenris, useless. And if I just do one more run pretty much, because these just ask for you to, well, get SSS plus and also clear all of the mechanics. Doing that would, or doing the run we just did, would clear all of these missions as well, and you'll be completely done with the All of Trials challenges. For the second team we'll be using, this is a backup for anybody who does not have Suthin. If you took Baal Team from your selector, due to him being a very, very good PvE hero, then you can use him here with Sigret to cover the debuffs. It is a little bit harder to play, but we can get around that a little bit. So let's start off with Brieg. Brieg is pretty much the same as before. It's just full HP with a little bit of speed and a Steadfast Gatekeeper or Proof of Valor. And then we have Tamarinne. She's just on her normal gear, except her accessories got swapped with Brieg because Brieg needs the bulk more. If you're struggling with sustain, you can use Rod of Amaryllis or Unfading Memories in place of Magaraha's Tomb. Then Baal Team, I just stole Suthin's gear. He has a little bit higher base speed, so he's a bit faster. Plus his EE, that increases his S3 debuff chances, and I have him on Warhorn as well. Warhorn is because Baal's cooldowns are low enough that he doesn't really need the Candlestick procs, plus he has 2 AoEs. You can go Candlestick if you wanted. So then, here is Sigret. Sigret, I kind of built her really, really bulky. This is just because you're guaranteed 4.5 million if you just clear all 3 phases. You can still, like, even with this build, get the 4.5 million within 2 phases. It's just, worst case scenario, just bulk it up. This is kind of overkill. She doesn't really need to be this tanky. And I also gave her Proof of Valor. It's just because this team is a bit harder to set up in the break phase. I didn't want to rely on having to actually get damage in, but it's, if you clear all 3 phases, it's a free 4.5 million. So that's it for their stats, and now you can take a look at the run. So this is going to be the survive, well, clear 3 break phases method for guaranteed 4.5 million. You can try going for the clearing 2 method with damage. I just find it kind of annoying to run this team, so I opted to go for the tank it up and just clear the phases method instead. Same as before, we're aiming for 60% here. So this is 60. And we can use to turn the Brieg S2. We need our 4 debuffs. Sigret's not going to get to move in time, so we're going to have to S1 for now. Same thing with Brieg, we got a S1. We can pop our idol form. And then Sigret's S2 is going to give us 2 debuffs, which I haven't actually. I need to plus 15 this. Or I need to plus 5 her S2, I completely forgot. Whatever, she landed both of them. And then Baal. So normally Sigret S2 should be 100%. Baal S3 is always going to be 90%. It's immune to decreased defense, so it's just decreased speed and unhealable. If he lands both, we're in the break phase. If he lands one, we won't be. But then, even though Brieg normally would get cut, we can just Tamarinne S2 and Brieg will get pushed up. Let's S3 and see what happens. Okay, he landed both, so I guess we're in the break phase now. And we can use S1. S2 to stall here. And honestly, it doesn't really matter what we do here. I'm still playing the mechanic, but we're really just trying to clear all 3 phases because we're not going to be doing much damage anyways. Either way, now we can just S3. We still get a bit of extra damage. And again, we are just waiting. I'm actually going to pop Idol Form here, just for the cleanse. We still have enough turns left that we can just cycle around, and we'll be able to get it back up in time. Gonna S2 for the barrier as well. So with Tamarinne having her S2, we actually are going to be able to push everybody up in time. So we can just do this. Sigret S2. Landed both. And Baal S3 has a very high chance to land at least one. And he landed both, as we can see, because of one extra debuff that peeked through. Baal S3 again. Brieg stalls a turn here. So we are going to use S2 here. This can be our first AoE. And through the power of very lucky tuning, we actually are able to hit 6. And we were able to get our SSS in 2 phases, even though I pretty much went Tank Sigret. So at this point, we have our free SSS, and you can just let yourself die. Don't yield. You have to at least die. But might as well play out the run. Let's check our cooldowns. We got one more turn. Well, we are full tank, but I'm still going to press S2 here. We need 3 more hits in this turn. I'm going to... If I don't press this here, Brieg is going to die. We'll deal with any issues that come from us not ending break phase properly after. Sigret does cut. I wasn't sure if she would. Going to press idle here. Now the question is, will Tamarinne cut Yufine? I'm not sure. I think Tamarinne will cut Yufine, but it's fine, because we can just have everybody take their turns right afterwards. I'll just S1 here. Land the 2. One. This is 2 more. So here I'm going to S2 now. Awkwardly, Tamarinne does cut ahead of Sigret here. Don't have a choice but to S1. But that, you see the bar jumped a little bit. That's just because when you hit with 6, it jumps the bar a bit extra. And, well, it's the last phase, so we might as well use S3. And unfortunately, Sigret does not get cut by either Baal or Tamarinne. Either one of them would have been nice just to get one more AoE in, but we'll just rip our S3. For a little bit over 6.8 million.